New Leaders was founded to ensure high academic achievement for all children, especially students in poverty and students of color. We do this by developing and supporting transformational school leaders. We're facing a serious crisis in our education system. Too many students are not getting the high quality education they need and deserve in our public schools. To provide children in low-income communities with an excellent education, we need talented leaders. Over the past 11 years, New Leaders has reinvented the principalship, attracting top candidates and reshaping the role of the principal into one of transformational leadership focused on driving results for students. We've created a new generation of leaders at every level of the system who are driving dramatic improvement in underperforming schools and showing what's possible when adults hold themselves accountable and get it right for children. Our first goal is to train a critical mass of highly effective school leaders in each of our 11 program sites. We will do this by continuing to grow the number of principals and other school leaders we recruit, develop, and support in our cities. In addition, we plan to expand and deepen engagements with state and district partners to create the policies, practices, and conditions that enable effective school leaders to drive academic success for their students. We continuously study what works and what doesn't in school leadership, and we have a rich body of knowledge that we use to inform both our leadership programs and our policy recommendations. To scale our efforts and create more school-level successes and systemic impact, we need champions of our work, people, companies, and partner organizations who believe in the power of leadership to transform our public schools. We're interested in working with supporters of all kinds who share our commitment to high academic achievement for all students and leadership as the lever to get us there. New Leaders uses several leverage points to drive the success of our programs and to create a broad and long-lasting impact in our public education system. First, we expand the talent pipeline. We not only bring outside talent into the education system, but we also help districts identify emerging leaders from their existing pool and develop those talented educators from within the system to increase their impact. Second, we work to change not just schools, but entire systems. We address conditions that enable transformational leadership. So we not only get strong people into leadership roles, but we also ensure that they're working in a context that allows them to succeed and drive in results for students. Third, we aim to create programs that can be replicated. We seek to demonstrate what's possible in diverse settings across entire systems to prove this can be done anywhere and to provide proof points for others to follow. Finally, we increase knowledge for broader impact. We use our evidence to advocate and change policy around school leadership at the district, state, and federal levels. First, New Leaders is effective because we focus on one of the most critical levers in school improvement: great leadership. As the head of the school, the principal sets the culture, priorities, and values of a school, and is also the talent manager of the school, attracting, developing, and retaining talented teachers. By leveraging the power of school leadership, we're improving teaching and learning across whole schools, driving change at scale versus only in pockets. Second, we know what works and what doesn't in school leadership, and we're experts in developing and supporting transformational leaders. We've conducted and continue to conduct extensive research into the actions that high-performing principals take to drive dramatic gains and high achievement across a school. We use our ongoing research to keep improving our programs for even better results and to inform the recommendations we provide our partner districts and states. First and foremost, we hold ourselves accountable for the achievement of the students in New Leader schools. In fact, we were the first principal preparation program to hold ourselves accountable for the student-level impact of our school leaders. Students in New Leader schools consistently achieve at higher levels and graduate at higher rates than their peers in other schools. We also measure the growth in number of school leaders, the impact we're having on our district and state partners, and our organizational strength. Many people think of New Leaders as just a principal training program, but we've expanded and are now at the forefront of driving transformational school leadership at scale. We recruit and nurture potential leaders, develop and support outstanding principals, and influence effective leadership policies and practices at the district and state levels. One other misconception is that our leaders are inexperienced and are fly-by-night. Neither of these are true. All of our leaders have at least 3 years of teaching under their belts and have demonstrated the ability to increase student achievement in their classrooms. They also all commit to staying in their partner district for 5 years after going through our program. We essentially take talented teachers who are driving change in individual classrooms and turn them into powerful leaders who can drive change across whole schools. First and foremost, we've attained promising student achievement results. A study by the RAND Corporation has found that for the last 5 years, students in New Leader schools achieve at a significantly higher level than their peers, specifically because they have a New Leader principal. And every year, our leaders are some of the highest performing principals in our partner cities. Second, we've developed a model principal training program that several districts are trying to replicate, as well as best-in-class tools and resources for use by our partner districts, other aligned districts and states, and the broader field. Third, we have created a knowledge base around the mindsets and skill sets of highly effective leaders and the policies and practices necessary to support transformational school leadership at scale. We've used this knowledge to help advocate for and change policy at the district, state, and federal levels. A key challenge for new leaders has been helping our school leaders succeed in a number of contexts, from district to charter, in diverse urban areas across the country. Because we've learned how critical context is to principal success, we now offer services to state and district partners to help them create the policies, practices, and conditions that enable our leaders and other strong school leaders to drive high academic achievement results for students. New Leaders has been a pioneer in recruiting and selecting top principal talent nationwide, resulting in a highly selective admission rate of just 6%. However, while our process has enabled us to identify certain critical indicators of effective leaders, we've realized that we need more opportunities to view candidates' adult leadership and culture building abilities in real time. To address this, we developed the Emerging Leaders Program, which allows us to observe teacher leaders for an entire year while we hone their leadership abilities and prepare them for potential admission into a principal residency program, such as our Aspiring Principals program. With additional resources, we could scale our impact by increasing the number of emerging leaders and aspiring principals we train, which would in turn increase the pipeline for our partner districts and impact hundreds of thousands of additional students. We could create a critical mass of transformative school leaders in select cities and provide proof points of what's possible for students when you combine great talent with a supportive district context. At the same time, we know that it's not realistic for us to select and train every principal in every district across the country. Given the magnitude of the problem we're trying to solve, we must have systemic impact. With additional resources, we can focus more on driving systemic change efficiently by leveraging our knowledge base on what works in school leadership to impact policies and practices at the district, state, and federal level. We think the biggest gap is around leadership. There are simply not enough great leaders in school systems. The challenge is most acute at the school level and in high poverty, low performing schools in particular. By focusing on school leadership, we're building the pipeline of leaders who can drive excellent results for students at the school level and who will also eventually become assistant superintendents and superintendents who will lead entire school systems. So we think we've identified the biggest gap we need to be filling, and that we just need to increase the volume and impact of high-quality leaders in order to move whole school systems in the whole country towards high academic achievement for all students.